Hi, everyone. Welcome back, Bug Out family. It is week 5, baby. Home stretch, you guys. Home stretch. Last week of tinctures. For those of you who got started with your tinctures on week 2, we're almost there, you guys. We are almost there. We got Kimmy back with us this week, which I'm super happy about. She's going to be diving into some really, really important information later, so I'm super excited for that. As always, grab your planners. Let's see, who do we got with us today? We got Brandy. Hi, Brandy. Hi, Heather. Hi, Kim. Hi, Sylvia. Hi, Robin. Hi, Tammy. Hello, everyone. It's so great to see you guys. Oh, we got Gustavo joining us. Hey, Gustavo. His audio is connecting. I don't know if he can hear me. Hi, Karen. We got the whole squad with us. So great to see all of you guys. All right, everyone. As always, let's do a quick energy check-in. How is everybody feeling on week 5? You guys have made it almost to the finish line, baby. Let me know in the chat, 1 through 10, what are your energy levels? What's the mood? What's the vibe? I want to hear from everyone. Vibe is up. Beautiful. That's what I like to hear, Gustavo. We got 5, 8. I got my hot girl walking today. I'm feeling like $1,000,000. It's getting really hot in Arizona. It's already getting like 100. It was 103 yesterday. Yeah. So if you plan on coming to Arizona, wait until the fall because it's already getting hot over here.
Oh, I'll be there May 12th and 13th.
Will? Will I get to see you?
Yeah, actually, I just realized, yeah, we don't have anything going on. We'll be at the Arizona Grand.
Okay, that's not far
So,
from me. I'm gonna come.
yeah.
I'm gonna have to come and say hi. Are you kidding
Yeah,
me?
well, let's do dinner. I forgot you're there.
Yeah.
Let's do dinner. Okay.
This is
I'll
the
see
best.
what time we get. I think we get in at 3.
Okay,
Because I'm going on the next day. I'm going on Alex Clark with
nice.
her Apothecaries podcast. So I'm going in person. So yeah. Oh my God.
Yeah,
Okay. All right. I'm glad I put 2 and 2 together.
me too. All right, you guys. First of all, I'm so proud of everyone. You guys have no idea how happy it makes me and everybody else on the team to see everybody so committed and especially engaged in the chat. You guys are amazing. I love the connection. I love the camaraderie and the community that's been being built throughout the past few weeks. And we even have like people like Heather, Karen, who are with us last round. So we really got some roots here with the bug out program, which I'm really, really happy about. So obviously, this is week 5 and we're almost done. You guys have a lot of what I call social proof right now because you've been in this program for weeks now. You've been on the tinctures for weeks now. You've been doing a lot of the protocols, the detox protocols. So, with this social proof, you've really gotten to see over the past, 4 or 5 weeks what is working for you, what isn't working for you, what your body's responding to, what it's not responding to, what lifts your mood, what drains you. You should have enough evidence right now throughout this process to learn what's your thing and what's not your thing. Because throughout this detox process, even though we're all in the same protocol, we're all in different spaces physiologically. So, what works for one person might not do the trick for somebody else. And like I've said from the very beginning of this entire process is all about you deepening your relationship with your body. I know some of you guys are even, like I said, on round 2 with us for the bug out program, and you're doing this cleanse again. You guys might be having experiences that are different from the first time you did the cleanse, or some of you guys who have done other cleanses might be experiencing different sensations in this one. So I really want you guys to pay close attention to the shifts that are happening within you physiologically, and what your body is telling you is a yes, and what your body is telling you is a no. And maybe if you do the second round of Parify or whatever you move on to, maybe this time around you did a lot of meat. Maybe next time you want to try it without meat, or maybe you didn't do any meat this time and you want to do it that next time. That was something that happened to me when I very first did the Parify cleanse. I went gung ho, relentlessly dedicated to the Candida diet, and I didn't do any meat, anything at all. And it was really great. I saw a lot of worms leave my body, which was an amazing win. It was crazy. But for me, I it wasn't sustainable for me to not have animal protein in, because I strength train at the gym 4 days a week. And so I was like, okay, I next time around I have to incorporate more animal products and more animal protein, so that I was losing weight. And for me, a personal goal of mine is to put on weight. So again, everybody's different. If your goal is to shed pounds instead of, for me, to put on pounds, then you might make a different choice. So this is definitely, even though this is a community program, you still are having an individual experience. So, a question that I want you to reflect on, or more so like a prompt that I want you to reflect on, is the prompt that says, my body thrives when. My body thrives when I get 9 to 10 hours of sleep. My body thrives when I drink X amount of water with salt in it. My body thrives when I'm surrounded by these types of people. What are the things that you've done throughout this process that you've noticed your physiology is responding well to? Because the goal for us here is to make sure that you have developed a deeper level of self awareness with those things, so that once this is over, you have the data, you have the evidence, and you have a guide of what to keep doing, because now you've gained a sense of clarity of what genuinely works for you. Because we're about to be shifting into post cleanse life, and you guys get to decide what you're taking with you. Obviously, you're not going to be taking the tinctures every day unless you end up doing, round 2 of Parify, which Kim's going to go into post cleanse options with all of the different kits, and just depending on where you're at in your cleanse journey. But you guys get to decide what parts of the diet worked really well for me. I'm gonna just let you guys know, I love me some pastries and carbs. Like, my coffee shop dreams are made come true every time I go to my favorite place in downtown Phoenix. The pastries are just insane there. And I could not give up gluten for so long. And because of this cleanse, I gave up gluten for the first time in my life, and my body responded beautifully to it. So I was like, dang, even though that was something I didn't want to have to sacrifice, I have to admit that my body does really well with way less gluten, or with none at all. So now that has been a post cleanse uh, transformation that I have implemented into my everyday life. So we want to make sure that this transition for you guys is intentional, is intelligent, and is smooth. Because one of the big mistakes that people make is, once we get off of the protocol, once we say goodbye to the diet, Sometimes we can overindulge and we can jump right into the things that we had to sacrifice for all that time, whether it's food, whether it's alcohol, whether it's just a certain type of lifestyle, not moving as much. And then we lose our momentum. We just spent all of this time making this self-commitment and devoting ourselves to changing our physiologies and our minds and our qualities and our character, and then we just go all gung-ho afterwards and jump right into all the things that were forbidden for the past 30 days or 5+ weeks. I've done that before. I made that mistake after my first cleanse because I did my first cleanse right before the holidays. And I was like, it's time to eat, baby. And I just dove in and I felt it so much. So we want to set you guys up for success and start planting those seeds of what are my next steps? What are the things that really worked for me that I'm going to keep doing? And what are some of the things that I've stayed away from that I'm gonna, breadcrumb back into my world and kind of experiment with and see how my body responds to those things? And then also having you guys decide what are your next steps. Is it another Parify kit 7 days after this one? Maybe you'll take a little bit of time off. Maybe you've already done multiple rounds of the Parify kit and you want to dive into some other ones. So we're going to have Kim hop on now and share about more about the tinctures and which ones to decide on implementing once we wrap up. So, Kimmy, welcome back.
Hi. I hope you guys had a good week and you're almost at the end. How does that feel? Does it feel like you've accomplished something and you moved like a step forward with your health? Because that's what you've done. So you've really done, it's hard to do 30 days. They say once you make or break a habit, it's after 21 days. So you're definitely there. And even if you have slipped up a few times, that's okay. Like we're just human, right? So, kind of your next steps is you can take a break and you can wait for 3 months and you can continue seasonally. Every 3 months is around what we recommend. So 3 to 4 times a year. You can take the extra because we give some extra product. You can take 5 days of that over the next 2 months. So you can do 3 days prior to the full moon, over the full moon, and a couple of days after the full moon. You can do mini cleanses between. You can do 7 days, wait, and then start the Parify again. So there's a lot of options for you that you have that you can do. There isn't anything that's like a set in stone that you have to do it this way. We just really like to say, every 3 to 4 times a year because it makes it feel like it's less needed in a sense where you just can do it if you want a little more medical freedom. And that's kind of what we're all about here is having your own medical freedom. We are launching our lymphatic kit, and that will be launching on May 15th. So you have that option that you can pivot over to. One thing that I do, and you guys ask me in here too, questions. One thing that I take every day is I take Sustain every day. It's my favorite. It has Oregon grapefruit, which is an anti-parasitic. It helps with inflammation, and Usnea helps with any like bacteria or virus that might be going on in my body. And so I just take this every day. It just a dropper full in the mornings, and then I just kind of move on with my day. I've added this in as a daily supplement for my life. And it's just something that I feel because I have Lyme and it kind of keeps it at bay. And I do know that when I stop taking it, that I do have a little bit more of a flare. So I like taking this. You can take Metal Flush every day as well. Really, it's Parify because of the wormwood and the black walnut hull. Taking a break from that for at least 7 days to let anything kind of grow and hatch in your body is kind of why we say 7 days, because that's about when the next cycle will hatch. So What else did I have? How much Sustain do I take? Oh, I take a dropper full. So I haven't taken it this afternoon. I sometimes like I'm not feeling super great the last couple of days, so I'll actually take it twice a day. But that's all I do. I just fill the dropper and I just take it. What symptoms would imply that they should do a second round of Parafy? So usually if you're starting to get off of the kit the last few days, or you pause the kit and you start to have breakouts, you start to have indigestion issues, you start to have like almost GERD like feeling. If you never had GERD, it's like a burning. If you start to have some headaches, if you start to see things questionable in your toilet, you should start again. A lot of parasite companies do 90 days, but I really just felt like the general public, 90 days feels like a lot. And so 30 days doesn't feel as much. And so that's why I chose 30 days when I designed this, was because you're more apt to do it for 30 days than you are to try and push yourself for 90. Can you tell us more? Oh yeah. You want me to show it to you? Let me go get it. Ask your question. Hold on. I gotta go get it. Okay. So it looks just like Parafy. And because I love Sustain so much, that's why it's back in here. It's in our support kit, it's in our Parafy kit, and it's in the lymph kit, because it's such a good daily supplement to take to really help us fight bacteria and just kind of give us more of an opportunity to have our body work a little bit better. But the lymph tincture tastes like sweet tea, and the Holy Skull tastes like sweet whiskey. That's the best way I can describe it. And it's really good. It's really good. Hi, Heather. I'm on my second Parafy kit, and I have another Parafy kit along with the support kit and moldies. What order? So you're on your second. How are you feeling? You can unmute if you want, Heather. How are you feeling on your second kit? Have you noticed any changes? And then I can tell you where you should go next after you tell me how you feel on the Parafy kit. And this goes for you guys too. Like anybody that's questioning going on the Moldies kit, listen to what I'm saying, because it really is the same for everyone on how I tell you to do Parafy and Moldies, and then how you can incorporate the support and the lymph. So how have you felt on
Oh,
your second?
so on the second, I kind of feel like the first. It's been emotional and kind of up and down and lethargic. Um, I'm not a looker, so I haven't seen any worms come out. Um, and I know I should always do the moldies after the Parafy, but I'm like, should I do a third Parafy and then the support and then moldies, or should I save the Parafy for another time and just go into the moldies or support and then moldies? But yeah, low energy, I guess, and
Yeah.
emotional. And I felt like that on the first round too.
Have you taken Immune and Recover with Parafy yet?
Um, no, I haven't.
Okay. So here's what I want you to do.
Yeah.
I want you to take Immune and Recover starting today.
Okay.
You just add it in the mornings. You can do a half to a full dropper.
Okay.
And I want to see if that helps you with the emotional side of things.
Okay.
And then will you send me like an email me and let me know? Because then if
Yes.
you're feeling like Immune and Recover are a good push in the direction of the mental part of it all, then
Yeah.
I think you should add moldies in.
Okay.
So when we talk about this, if you guys want to take anything away, I would add Immune and Recover to any of your cleanses. And it's because I did a support with Immune and Recover. So I added in oyster and shiitake, which is high in magnesium and zinc. And that will help your emotions get under wraps. And I worry because moldies is very emotional.
Yeah.
If you have mold in your body, it is emotional. It makes you feel dark and it makes you have higher emotions. And you
Mm.
usually find that out around the second Parify kit.
Yeah, okay. Okay.
So I want you for the next week to do Immune and Recover with your Parify.
Okay.
I want to see how you do with that. And then if you feel like you're doing really well on with Immune and Recover, then you're just going to switch Parify to Moldies.
Okay.
And then I want you to do Moldies once a day
Okay. Okay.
for a couple of days. I want you to see how the fennel and the Shazandra berry get into your system and
Okay.
how you can pivot yourself and feel a little bit better.
Okay. Okay.
Mold's a beast, Heather. You guys,
Yeah.
I'm still fighting mold. Literally, I'm still fighting mold, and I'm 2 years
Yeah.
into my mold journey.
Wow.
I'll tell you guys a little personal thing. I have something going on with my ear, and when the urgent care doctor looked in my ear yesterday, he said he's never seen anything like it. There were black spots that look like leopard print on my eardrum. And that means that I have mold coming out of my body in a funky way.
Wow.
Mold is a wild, wild environmental toxin. So it's just something that like you will continue to work on probably the rest of your life if you have
Yeah.
poisoning. But it's how we're able to pivot the herbs and allow ourselves different options. And red light is your best friend. If you can sit in front of a red light as much as you can, I literally have a red light here. I have a red light there. I hold a red light. I have an infrared sauna red light. Red light has been what's kept me sane.
Okay.
Doesn't like red light. And if you can hop into finding oxygen therapy, if you have mold or if you feel like that's something that you need to work on, then I recommend doing something with like an HBOT or snuff out the mold. So
Okay. That's helpful.
But-
Cool. Wow.
do a week on Immune and Recover, which is in the support kit and in Moldies.
Okay.
You have quite a bit. The support kit is just sustain, immune, and recover. So
Yeah.
you really can pivot the support kit in with the Parify, and then you'll have
Okay.
extra. And you can use immune and recover forever. Like it's literally
Yeah.
tincture because it's not a cleanse. And that's what the difference is with the lymph kit. This isn't a cleanse. This is a wellness support. You need to
Mhm.
support while you're cleansing and detoxing in order for your organs to not shut down or get taxed too much. So that's really kind of the way you should think about it, is that you're just giving your body more support with immune and recover.
Mhm.
In a week, when you're done with the Parify kit, stay on immune and recover. And then
Okay.
just give yourself a little bit of a break with the main tincture, Moldies or Parify, and then pivot yourself onto it in 7 days after that.
Okay.
Is that helpful?
Okay. It is helpful.
Okay.
Yeah. And
And
I
Live
might
with
email
red
you
light.
with questions.
Yeah, email
Oh
me.
yeah.
You
Okay.
can email me. And red light, you guys, like if there's one thing
Yeah.
that you can take away from this program, is that red light, it will really help with anything.
Yeah.
I can't even describe the difference of when I did methylene blue with red light, and then I just was like, methylene blue's okay, but red light is, I just stuck with it, and I literally sit every day with it.
Oh, I have the methylene blue too. I haven't
Have you
tried it
used
yet, but
Have you used it yet?
I've tried it a couple times, but not enough to know the difference. But I have it to mix it, and I've heard good things. But
Let me give you,
yeah.
you guys, I'll tell you what methylene blue is. So methylene blue is a dye therapy that's kind of trendy and kind of hot out there, right? So if you do this, you should first off know your risks, right? And we can talk a little bit about what risks could be, but if you do methylene blue, you want to take it, and then within 20 minutes of taking it, you need to go outside or you need to sit in front of a red light to actually activate it. And it's kind of a fail that they're not telling people this. So in order for it to get to its full potential of utilizing this dye therapy, you have to use a red light or go outside immediately. And you sit out there for 20 to 30 minutes, and that's how it actually activates. What dye therapy was originated for wasn't just to clean out fish tanks. They actually did it for surgery purposes. They would dye the correct organ so they didn't remove the wrong organ. So you got to remember when you're using methylene blue, you are dyeing your organs. And your toilet could get stained because you're going to pee it out and it's going to be green blue, your pee. So don't freak out. But also,
Yes.
it's going to stain your toilet. Now, there are some studies right now that show what a methylene blue brain looks like and a non methylene blue brain. So it's kind of 50-50 in this world of should you be taking a dye therapy? I do not respond well to methylene blue. It's a synthetic, and I don't do well with synthetic drugs. So it's really kind of like you should educate yourself a little bit. But if you're going to do methylene blue, know that your pee is going to turn crazy colored blue. Know that you need to do within 20 minutes of taking it, you need to go outside or you need to do red light to actually activate it, or it's kind of a waste. And then research if that's something that I don't know how long it stays in your body for. I don't know, like, I don't know if now my brain is dyed blue forever, like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't really know because there isn't enough research out there, enough studies that show it. But what it does is it pushes the toxins out of your cells and it helps boost your mitochondria and give you more ATP. It basically goes in and works as like the pedals on a bike, pushing out the crap in your cells and energizing your cells. That's what it's doing, but it's dying at the same time, and it's a synthetic driven drug. So I like CZML, their pharmaceutical grade powder for methylene blue. You make it yourself, you don't have to buy it from someone. And there is some levels of lead, just so you know. And this was something that I think you guys are going to hear a little bit about over the next few weeks because someone's on us. Her name is Lead Mama, but it's a natural derivator. And so what it does is it's got a little bit of lead because they didn't synthesize the lead completely out of methylene blue, but you have to be conscientious about where you buy the methylene blue. And there's only been like 2 people out there that I've ever experienced that have tested low to 0 with lead in the methylene blue. So not to fearmonger, because all of what we're doing in life is education and understanding that things like this have certain heavy metals that you just have to be aware of. And then you just have to like take in account when you're doing dosing.
Oh my God, so helpful.
Methylene blue is really great, but it also has some side effects. So, and I don't know how bad your brain will be dyed. I just don't.
Right?
I know that when they started using it for infants and pediatrics, that's why they started really utilizing this dye therapy.
Wow.
Smurf pee, that's what you call it, Gustavo. Oh, that's funny. That's what they, and you ever see the videos where they like stick their tongue out? Everybody on Insta is like, I did my blue. Yeah. Yeah. Just remember you need to get out into the sun and you need to get out in red light if you don't have a way to get in the sun after you take the M blue. And don't talk about methylene blue on any of the platforms. Call it M blue. Methylene blue is IE'd, and that means that they run the AI through it. And so they're going to make sure that you don't get through or you get penalized and you get a violation. So call it M blue, just so you guys know, if you talk about it. It is a censored product. Yeah. Like, you know, it's an underground thing, I guess. But Gustavo, it is. It's like, oh my God, I was thinking about this the other day. We're literally doing back, you know, back in the day when we there was the bootlegging for the booze and there was you know what I'm saying? Like we're kind of this back product, right? I was thinking about like we're in the back end, like underground. I'm like sitting there shaking hands underground. I'm like, this is so weird. This is so weird that we can't talk about this stuff. Like, it's just the most bizarre thing to me. I come from medicine. Like, this is medicine, right? Like, then I come into the social media world and I'm sitting there like, I don't get it. I don't understand it. Like, and I'm very medicine driven. So I'm like, I don't get this, but oh well, we're all adapting, right? Okay. What else?
Um, did you already answer the question from Karen? Can you tell us more about the lymph kit? Did you already do that one?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I did.
Okay.
But I also someone in the chat, I don't remember who it was. I don't remember. She was asking about something being readily available and like the
Oh,
Melanie.
it's Brandy.
Yeah, who?
Brandy asked in the chat if we could touch on the absorption process of the tinctures.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay, so the reason why I chose to do tinctures over pills, one is specifically because of the absorption rate. And when you take a tincture, it goes immediately into your bloodstream and it's readily available. So when you hear someone say bioavailable or readily available, like it's instant. Where when you take a pill, it takes a minute, right? It goes down and then it has to absorb and then it goes through the intestine, the wall, and then it starts to absorb into the body. Okay, that's not how tinctures work. They are immediate. And so there is not a fight when it comes to getting into your stomach and fighting with food. I chose to say 30 minutes prior to food just to be able to like have it be faster and done that way. But really it's just about getting it in your mouth, getting it absorbed and having it be bioavailable, ready available. It doesn't have to fight with anything. So as far as that question was in the chat, that's why, and that's how fast. It's instant. And then she also asked if it crosses the blood-brain barrier, and I'm not going to answer that directly. What I am going to say is that this is a full body cleanse, which means it can go all over your body. And depending on what the driver herb is, so if you think about the way I'm saying it, is that literally there's an herb that sits in the front seat of a car and drives the rest of the herbs directly through the GABA and directly through the blood-brain barrier and drives it directly through, carrying those herbs to be able to absorb throughout your body. Our herbs do absorb throughout the whole body. And things like lion's mane is a driver herb where it does cross over. Fulvic is a crossover while it's driving its friends through the blood-brain barrier. So there are certain herbs that will cross over and bring their friends with them. And then there's certain herbs that just stay basically throughout the body. We cross everywhere. So if that helps, if you have toxo, please go see a doctor though. There is a whole regimen for toxoplasmosis gondii that you have to follow as soon as you get diagnosed. So we help with symptoms, but nothing's a cure. And we're just here talking about herbs. So hopefully that answered that question if she watches this again.
I think she's with us. If that answered your question, Brandy, just go ahead and drop it in the chat or yeah, just drop that in the chat. If not, then we can unmute you and have you talk with Kim directly. Okay, Kim, another one. I had this question. What's a diet for the mold cleanse? Since it's not, we're not having to prioritize starving parasites when we're doing moldies. So what's the diet for that?
It's very similar. No
Okay.
gluten, minimal, if not no meat. But again, we're working, and I really would love you guys to send me your recipes from this cleanse because we want to get this book out by Christmas and I got to start working on it. So if you guys have some meat recipes, that would be fabulous. Really, you're just trying to starve the mold again because it's another environmental toxin that's a frequency. But I found that as long as I cut out like certain alcohols, I did really good. I just quit drinking altogether when I was doing a lot of my mold cleanses, but really gluten, breads and carbs attached to it. A lot of people don't realize that people that have high cholesterol actually should be tested for mold because cholesterol is sticky and it collects the spores like a magnet. So the lower cholesterol, the higher omegas. I take a lot more omegas in the last 2 years since finding out I had mold because it slides them out. It slides the spores out of the sticky part of the cholesterol. So a lot of the mold lives in here and causes havoc inside of our chest, as well as our heart and our lungs. And so the more you can eat that omega, I mean, not necessarily salmon, but just cook it really good, the better and slidier the spores will come out. So just kind of remember that as you're picking up what food. Is it high in omega? Is it high in protein? Is it an antioxidant? I take a lot of omega capsules. Like I love Body Bio. They're one of my faves. And they have a really good clean omega that you can get.
Okay. And I think there was another question from Karen said, could you expect lymph drainage on the lymph kit?
Yeah. So I'm struggling with my lymphatic system right now, which is hilarious because I literally landed in my mailbox when I arrived home from Nashville, and I've been struggling with my lymphatic drainage because I was on a plane. I didn't have any of my modalities while I was in Nashville last week, and I've got some congestion going on. And so I said, Jeremy, I think my kit's here. You should go look. He goes and gets it. I immediately took it, and let me just tell you, I I took a full dropper and I was draining out my ear. Like it was so weird because one, I didn't think that it was in the mail. So it was kind of like she just blessed me. And then I'm draining. And I had taken Mucinex. Like I'm not opposed to doing Western medicine here and there, right? When you really need it. And so I had taken Mucinex. It didn't even touch the drainage. It wasn't even draining. And I'm like, gosh, okay. So I waited like 5 more hours. And then I opened this up and I just felt this drain. It was just the weirdest thing how the herbs went in and started working right away. So I'm going to say yes. Let's say yes. And then Holy Skull, a lot of people don't realize how much your lymphatic and your brain are so connected. And so when I decided to pick this, I wanted our nervous system to really calm down. So even though it's for the brain, it really is for our nervous system more than anything. So it's kind of a combo. I used herbs like skull cap, that's why it's called Holy Skull. And that kind of helps repair. Cat's claw helps repair your DNA, which is in here. And then skull cap helps calm your nervous system while also helping repair some damaged neurons that go with the lion's mane. So it's a really great kit. I'm really excited about it. I'm really excited. Yes. Holy Basil, of course. She's in there. She's in there. She's in there with lion's mane. Like you take it and I just was like chill. It was like I sat and smoked a J or something. I mean, I took my lymph and I took my skull cap, my holy skull, and I was like, wow. I was very stressed because I've been traveling. Traveling stresses me out. So I'm excited. I'm excited for everyone.
That's the one I want to try next.
Oh man, it's so good. So good.
Okay, does anybody else have any other questions for Kim? If so, drop them in the chat now.
Okay, I don't have a question, but I do have something that I want to say. So, I know this community and I'm trying to educate everybody. I know that this community is very aware of natural ingredients, organic, and what that can look like. And I need everybody to know and to also talk to other people and tell other people. There are people out there that are fear mongers and that will come in and say, because we're third party tested. So we got all of our stuff tested. And I realize that a lot of people don't like to hear about the FDA but the FDA has some guidelines, right? And we are well below those guidelines for anything like lead, arsenic, mercury, and cadmium. And so we have been third party tested for 2 years. And it was like a year after we started making our products. And there's a gal out there, and her name is Lead Mama. Some of you may have heard if you've been in this wellness world for a little while. And she goes after companies that are all natural and third party tested as well. And so I just need to let you guys know that we are third party tested and there are traces of those ingredients inside of the fulvic as well as inside of Cinnabon because they're natural organic ingredients. 10 ppm, which is parts per million, is at a 10 when it comes to the FDA. We're at a 3, and that's per serving. And she's going to be coming out this weekend. She tested our Cinnabon, and our Cinnabon is at a 2. So I just need you guys to know that in life as a whole, that natural organic ingredients are going to have these levels. They're in our dirt. If you were to go and third party test a carrot, it's going to have the same levels, if not higher. We actually looked at all of these numbers prior to us releasing our third party testing 2 years ago, because I was like, gosh, I don't want any levels of this. But we also compared it to Jonesboro, where our product is made, and their dirt actually is tested higher than any of our products. So I really want to educate our community, and we're going to be doing a lot of that over the next few weeks. It's really just important for you guys to have the knowledge and to understand. Boca, a lot of us use Boca. It tested positive for having below FDA regulated mercury in it. But she tested it all against 2-year-olds, and against baby formula. So that's really not a fair comparison. Yeah, Boca toothpaste. So I just really because we're in this type of a setting, I really just want to tell you guys that fear mongers are going to do this. She had a lot of lead issues in her life, so this is really a sensitive subject for her. But I also think that we're all smart enough and we all understand that people are fearful as well as we're not, and we just need to make sure we take all of that into account. You're the first people I've talked to about it because we found out last week. So I just really want you guys to know, because you're my community, and we're going to be putting out some more educational content around this so that when you see that, you're not feared. Because don't give that energy to anyone. Gustavo eats lead for breakfast. Yeah. Yes, Randy, traveling out of the country. Thanks, Gustavo, for the laugh. Traveling out of the country, continue a second. Sure. I definitely think that if you're going to travel out of the country and you're going to do anything questionably, you should continue to take the Parify kit. That's what I do. When I leave, I take the kit with me. Oh man, it was a lifesaver last week. I didn't feel well. I just used my kit to keep me going, because whatever was trying to reach up and grab me that was around me, I was like, no, I was shoving it down with Parify. So does anyone have any questions? Okay.
Did you see the question from Heather Kim about the itchy ears? It was above the
Oh.
Gustavo's joke.
Yo, Heather, that's what's going on with me, man. I literally went and got one of those ear cameras because, the urgent care doctor, Western Medicine, he's all in there, and I'm trying to video, my husband trying to video it, and the light's bright on the scope. And so I went and bought one of those cameras that go in your ear. It's here. I'm waiting for Jeremy to get home. But it can, because it's pushing things out of the orifices. I'll put the video in the chat so you guys can see it. I guess it looks like a leopard print on my eardrum. So, that's a first for me. So we're going to find out. But it can, because that's a histamine response. So your body is pushing out something that's alerting it and making it aware. That's your body responding to something that might be attacking it. It's fearful, and you're realizing it, and it can kick you into fight or flight. And then you realize what's going on, and you can pull yourself back out of fight or flight because you're aware that this is one of your symptoms. If that makes sense. Red light too, friend. Red light. Okay.
Any other questions for Kim, guys? Traveling, we already got that one. Okay. Thank you for addressing that, Kimmy. We appreciate you.
Heck yeah, man.
Yeah, I've definitely been a little fear mongered by certain people on social media, and
Same.
yeah.
I'm fear mongered, and I think people think that I'm fear mongering, but I'm not. I'm just telling you that this could be a problem. And I think at first everybody really thought that I think everything is parasites, but I don't think everything is parasites. I don't think everything is viruses. I don't think everything is bacteria. But she thinks everything was lead. And I'm like, yo, not everything is like that. And in fact, Dr. Axe was sitting next to me when the whole thing went down. Dr. Montley was sitting next to me. And I looked at them, and first off, they already knew who she was. And secondly, they said, there's going to be some in there. And people that want transparency and that give transparency have to give education with it. And that's us. right? We're here educating, but you're also responsible for educating yourself and being your own advocate and understanding that you should know what's going on. And so I've been fear-mongered before as well, you know, but that's that's how we all learn too.
Yeah. Very, very true. Thank you for that, Kimmy.
You're welcome.
Okay, you guys, if nobody has any last questions for Kim, I do want to wrap up and set you guys up for success and initiate. Oh, wait, we've got one more question. What's the clean omega from Body Bio?
Let me get it. And then as far as the red light, anything that's 660, I have a red light that, okay, I like Loombox. It's smaller. Loombox is my favorite. They also have an affiliate program. And I think if you have a certain number of followers, they just send you the Loombox and then you get a code. So you can look into that, but I like them. So far, I've carried them everywhere I've gone. Lima, this is a laser and it's $2,000, just so you guys know. I'm not gonna hide it about the cost, but this is what they use in Lyme facilities is a red light laser. So a lot of times I'll use this red light on my joints. But it's also really great. And it's a game changer for your skin as well. You just rub it around your face, but there's a difference between a laser and just lights. So this is a medical grade. That's why they use it with Lyme patients in Lyme facilities. I couldn't afford to go to a Lyme facility, so I just found out all their secrets. And then I just slowly bought the stuff myself. So that's what this is. And then I really like, there's, let me see who this is. Hold on, it's right here. I really like Thurasage and I don't know, that's just some generic brand. There's, I really, Thurasage has a good red light. They're trustworthy, but I mean, anywhere you go on Amazon, they have really good ones as well. And if you want like a multi-purpose setup, I would say at first, maybe get yourself a mask and then use the mask in other places. That's what I did when I first learned about red light is I had a red light mask and then I used it on my arm. I put it on my knee. Hoga, I think, is another company. They're a little more expensive, but just start with I think there's like a $45 bulb that's on my Amazon storefront that you just plug into a light and you can start there and then you can work your way up to more. I mean, I have like 6 or 7 red light machines. Literally, I have a whole box over there just because I like to experiment. I've had red light belts that I've put on my head, like, you know, I mean, red light's red light, however you get it, if it's a machine or if it's like this. I mean, this is a little small to do your whole body. They actually are coming out with a bigger one on the 15th, but it's like really expensive. So just start small, cheap, and kind of go from there. I like ones that have frequencies that are within the actual light itself. And I like near infrared and I like the red. So you can have a choice. It'll say NIR or R. And so I like the ones that you have the option for both, which Loombox does. You can use both, you can use one or the other. So yeah, near and the frequencies. Oh, that's nice, Mel. Do you
I
have
know.
Hoga?
Yeah, I bought it on
Hoga,
Black
whatever it is.
Friday, which
Ooh,
if anybody wants to invest into like a really high quality red light, Black Friday was the way to go.
nice.
That's when I got mine and I love it. It's great. It even has its own timer on it and everything.
That's nice. I think that's what I'll get when I have more space. So
Yeah.
I did order it and then it got here and I ordered like the life size one or something like yeah, it was so big I had to send it back.
Yeah, I got the one that like can sit on the table. It's like,
Oh,
yeah.
nice.
I love it. I love
Nice.
it.
I want like a bed. I want to just like sleep in it.
Okay, you guys, let's see. I use the pads from Novolab, bought on Black Friday. It has an NARRL,
Nice.
a small handheld for my thyroid also.
Yeah,
Um,
you can't go wrong. You just can't. I mean, it's not like you're going to get some fake red light either. As long as it says 660, I think it's MHZ, you're golden.
put that in the chat. 660. see. Okay. All right, you guys. Oh wait, Kim, you answered the question about the omega that you take.
Oh, that's what I was getting up for. I forgot. Hold on.
Okay. Read Ari Witten's book if you need info on red light. Oh, okay, interesting. I was actually doing a little bit more deeper research on it today, so I'll look into that, Karen. Thank you.
Oh yeah. Also this book. Mark Sloan. Look. Mark Sloan does these two books, Methylene Blue, highly recommend, and Red Light Therapy. So I recommend these two books. They're fast read. They're interesting. It goes really fast when you read them, and you'll learn a lot. You'll learn a lot about what red light does. Not just, it's really good for anti-aging, but it's anti-cancer. So there's so many really great things. And then you combine those two together. That's where I learned a lot of my information about M-Blue as well as red light. All right. So I like Body Bio's Tudka. They're clean. I like their, I'm just starting this one. It's a liposomal, which means it absorbs better. And it's a vitamin C, so it's cellular immunity and boosts collagen. And then I just started this one too. It's an evening primrose and it helps with skin, body, and the mind. And I like these because they absorb better. And it doesn't smell bad. Sometimes you open these things and they stink. And then I didn't even grab the one you asked me. I like this Mental Focus Cellular, this PC liposomal. And then it's their omega. Hold on. Okay, I like their Balance Oil. I really like Body Bio. They actually just decided to sponsor me. But I talk about them all the time. They reached out and they're like, hey, and I'm like, cool. Okay, so I like their Balance Oil. It has good immune health in it. And then Micro Labs is clean, this microbiome lab. And I like their Mega Marine and their Mega Spore. So these are all things that I was shown when I was demolding. And the more oils, so like how this one is an oil, the more of these that you take because there's an oil in it, the better it's going to slide out. So spores don't respond to this because it's slippery. They respond to cholesterol because it's sticky. So you're going in with any type of oils like this, anything that says an oil. If you can take that while you're doing a mold cleanse or continue to take it over just like a powder, that's going to be your best bet. You'll absorb it better and you'll have a much better time with the cleanse. So this is like a oil inside of here. So that's going to be your best. I've used this Success. Oh, BioLite Shop. Ooh. Gustavo, you're such a wealth of knowledge, man. You're such a wealth of knowledge. We love having you here.
Yeah, we do.
So
great.
Those are what I use. Body Bio can be sold like through Fullscripts, through Body Bio directly, but they're really a good tested company that I've enjoyed. So Gustavo, do you have anything you want to add? He's like,
I think I just, back to what I said the first time, I don't want to add information. I just want to say that I really appreciate you guys, you gals, and the vibe of this situation. It's just a lighthouse in the dark. I just really think you gals are awesome, and it's not common. So just wanted to send out some more appreciation to the whole crew, and yeah, it's just nice to jive with authentic people that are moving towards the truth and helping. So that's all.
Yeah. Oh, well, thanks.
Yep.
I mean, I'm definitely going to continue pushing this. I have a whole new agenda that I want to go on, Gustavo, and I'm just really thankful that you're here and that you give your words as feedback. And I don't understand in life why this is such a secret and why we don't have better testing. And I'm going to make sure that my voice is heard.
You know, something I was gonna say, I was maybe gonna ask us to say it in private, but I sort of view you, I don't sort of view you. I view you, your energy as a luminary, is a term I use seldom, but it's the way I've seen you right off the bat and how I've continued to observe you and the team. And yeah, there's a reason why this is all under wraps. And there's a reason why you all have to be very careful with keeping that my friend calls it hobo code, really squared away. So the screen doesn't have an excuse to turn this, to challenge what you're doing.
Yeah.
I think it will.
I think that I'm doing it in such a methodical, slow way. And it's so funny because that's not really my personality. Like, I like to do it all at once,
Yeah.
but it's too much at once, right?
Yep.
And I learned that because we run our own company. So if I were to go full throttle, like our company would not do super great because
Oh,
you
you
have to
blow the lid right off the freaking
Totally.
5-gallon bucket, which is.
Yeah. And then what? And then what? Like, I'll be deemed as someone who's crazy and just some worm lady, right? But if you do it methodically and you do it slowly, you can make changes.
See,
And my change is I want better testing. I want everybody to have the opportunity that I've had of having my stool sent to Mexico or having labs that actually test for these things that are accurate and that we can actually get like a real diagnosis of what's going on in our bodies. Because it's funny, I sat with my friends last week and all of us had Lyme. It wasn't like 1 out of 5, it was all 5 of us. So, like, there's something going on, and I think we just have to slowly keep doing what we're all doing. This is a ripple effect. You guys are doing something that really in history has never been done. I mean, the way we're all doing it, the way we're strategically setting up our families to have success, to heal their bodies, like, it's not much longer that, like, that's gonna be the real way of life.
Mm.
Yeah, we're all doing secret handshakes right now, but it's going to be in the open. If I have anything to say about it, I'm going to make sure that this is a platform that is talked about and not just within these small little groups.
cool. Well, like I had mentioned before, I live in this tiny, tiny little town, and my friend said, "Are you doing this particular parasite cleanse with it said Mrs. Hood, I think is what it said." And I'm like, yeah, 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 it's great. So it's already
Mhm.
percolating. Just don't give the controlling parasite any reason to stop the good work and shut the luminary light down.
Well, thanks.
Yeah.
I appreciate it. I
Yep.
really appreciate it. It's definitely been a challenge, but like, I feel like I have such a good community. You guys are my community. This, like, I didn't have a community before this. I was very much the outcast in Western medicine.
I bet.
Yeah. Because
I was gonna make a joke with the next group if I join, and I'm gonna be like, we can't all be Kim. Kim
oh my God.
reaches down her own throat and pulls heartworms out of her own heart with a pair of nose tweezers. We can't all do that. All right, I gotta get off.
Thanks,
Blessings.
Gustavo. You're the best. All right, you guys. Thank you, Kimmy. We love you so much. You're incredible. We're so, so grateful to just be up close and personal with you throughout this experience. It's so, so special. Um, yeah, I was telling Kim, we were talking about just the program and the chat and stuff, and she just loves and cares about you guys so much. And clearly she's a really busy woman who has all these podcasts to be on. And she's like, I want to make sure that I'm in the chat. And I'm like, Kim, you're super present in the chat. And a lot of times when people sign up for these programs, they never get to talk to the CEO of the entire company and have access to the CEO of the company as much as they have access to you. So thank you, Kim. You're incredible. Your heart is just absolutely massive.
I couldn't do it without you guys. Like I couldn't do it without everyone. Like there's just no time in the day. I have to have you guys are our tribe, you know?
Yeah.
So thank you for all being here and supporting.
All right, you guys, before we wrap up, I do want to plant one more seed with all of you. 5-week finisher, baby. 5-week finisher. In a marathon, when people are running, what is it, 24.2 miles or 22 point something miles?
26.5.
26. Okay. When you're running all those miles, it's usually at the very end when people amp it up. And it's like, okay, the last mile, I'm going to give it all I've got. Or as soon as I'm seeing the finish line, I'm going to run through that thing. You always have to amp yourself up and finish strong. So this week, I really, really want to encourage you guys to create your idea of what we call the week 5 finisher so that you guys can really, really end this cleanse with a bang and stay on momentum. Last week, we talked about anchoring back into your intention and building momentum instead of kind of like falling off at the halfway point, which can happen a lot of times. So this week, think about a handful of things that you can do that by the end of it, when you finally get to day 30 of taking all the tinctures, you're feeling so, so proud of yourself that you ended with a bang and you know that you really, really gave it your all. So this week, take that into consideration with you. Last week of tinctures, 5-week finisher. And then next Monday will be our last call together on this journey. Obviously, you guys are more than welcome and even encouraged to join future bug out programs. Like we said earlier, we've had a handful of people in this round who joined us last round. So if you've loved this experience, if you've loved this community, if it's so much more easier and supportive for you to stick to the cleanse protocol when you do have the community support, you're always welcome and invited to join again as many times as you want. After this, we will be taking a bit of a break through the summer, but we will be back doing the bug out program in August. Like Kim was saying earlier, and I was saying earlier, pay attention to your body, listen to what's going on in there, and decide intelligently and intentionally what is best for you next, whether that's another round of the Parify, maybe that's just focusing on the support kit, maybe that is diving into moldies, maybe it's trying the new lymph kit. You decide what's best for you. Again, if you have any more questions, jump into the chat. Finish strong this week, and we will see you guys next Monday. We love you all so much. Have a beautiful rest of your week. Bye,
Thank
guys.
you.
You're so welcome. Bye, everyone.